This is Doug Phillips, and last night the 29th Olympics concluded. For the last 2 weeks, the eyes of the world have been watching Beijing as Olympic athletes from countries all around the world have gathered together, and we've been watching the best and the brightest in sports as diverse as fencing and swimming. Well, today I've got the great privilege of being in the home of five-time Olympic medalist Josh Davis. And Josh, thank you so much for having me in your home. I understand you just came back from Beijing.
Yeah, well, welcome. And we just got home a few days ago from Beijing, China, and it was incredible just to see all the record performances. But the people of China were amazing hosts, very, very interesting. But I got to lead the cheers for the family section at the swim center at the Water Cube. And of course, watching Michael Phelps make history was very special.
Okay, now who were you representing? You didn't go as an Olympic athlete this time, but you're a well-known athlete in swimming circles. So did that have something to do with your trip to Beijing?
Yes, because I was captain of the USA team for so long, and I'm still involved in the swimming community, they asked me to help lead cheers and kind of be a tour guide for the families and fans of the swimmers in Beijing at the Water Cube. And so I was more than happy to help out. So they flew us over there, and the whole package was the hotel, the swim tickets, and the bus to and from the pool and the hotel. And so we had a great time leading the cheers, and hopefully I like to think we helped Michael break all those records.
And you were also reporting for local San Antonio news stations while you were over there.
That's right. The NBC affiliate here in San Antonio, Texas, has asked me to kind of be roving reporter, man about town in Beijing, China. So I'd send a few little clips here and there of what we were experiencing firsthand. Okay,
Josh, you medaled. In fact, you made history in 1996 when you went to the Atlanta Games. And in Atlanta, you got three gold medals. You were the only man that particular Olympiad or Olympics to accomplish 3 gold medals, which was historic. You came back 4 years later and you competed again. You got 2 silver medals, bringing your medal count to a total of 5. You're a swimmer, of course, and your specialty is 200-meter freestyle.
Very good. That's right.
And this year you went back. You didn't get to jump in the water. You only got to watch. You got to be a cheerleader. How does that feel? Is that disappointing? Did you want to jump in the water with the rest of the men out there?
The competitor in me would love to get back in there and mix it up with those guys and race one more time, just because I love the competition. And but there's another part of me that genuinely enjoys seeing my friends do well also, and I get excited, almost as excited cheering them on as I do myself racing. So I was in heaven cheering on the swimmers and watching us do so well.
Okay, wonderful. Now, you missed an Olympics. There was one Olympics you wanted to go to. This was the last Olympics, but you had an injury. You were not able to compete. Is that correct?
4 years ago, I had trained pretty hard, but it wasn't enough. I had just missed making the team to go to Athens, Greece, and so subsequently I stayed at home watching it on TV like most everybody else, and just jumping on my coffee table, screaming like crazy. But anyway, I have stayed in good shape, and I actually participated in the Olympic trials in 2008, a few months ago, just for fun. And but who knows what the future holds.
Okay, you're 35 years old right now.
Right.
This makes you a little bit senior to the rest of the swimming team, but you still showed up and you actually competed in the Olympic trials, which requires that you are able to make some sort of, I guess, preliminary score even to be able to compete. Is that correct?
Right. Most of the 1,000, there's 1,000 of the best swimmers in America trained for 4 years to make the Olympic trials. Of those 1,000 swimmers, only 50 make the Olympic team. And thankfully, I was one of those 1,000 swimmers to try out for the Olympics. Now, I was ranked in the top 100, so I did pretty good. But to be honest, I really haven't trained in 4 years. I just stay in shape, work out about 15 minutes a day, just so I can teach kids better.
Okay, so you're telling me on 15 minutes a day, you went and you still competed at the Olympic tryouts, and you made the top 100.
I don't know if
That's
I should
pretty bold,
I don't know if I should be ashamed of that or if I should be proud of that. No, I'm 35. I was the oldest guy at the Olympic trials. I don't train like all these other guys, and I was able to keep up with them, and I did pretty well, and I set some 30-year-old world records. So I'm officially the fastest old guy in the world, but I would really like to be one of the fastest officially in the world.
Okay, Josh, I've got many questions I want to ask you, but since we're talking about age and athletics, let's talk about Dara Torres for just a second. Dara Torres went to the Olympics this year. You know Dara, I'm guessing. And really, I think that if you look at the Olympic Games this year, there are 3 stories that really dominated. One of them was the potential cheating of the Chinese gymnasts with respect to their age. That was a very significant story. But the other story was Michael Phelps. We'll get to that in a second. And the third story was Dara Torres, a 41-year-old woman who was old. She was competing in the Olympics before some of her teammates were born, I think.
She was in the '84 Olympics, and that was before several of the athletes were born.
Which is just incredible.
Yeah.
So she's well over 20 years older than some of her teammates which
Right.
are on the team, and she actually makes a silver medal in the event. She does incredibly well.
Yeah.
What does this mean for the sport? What is the message to people all around the world that Olympic athletes are able to compete older and older? What is it saying about our bodies, this amazing body that God has made, that God has designed, about new technologies? What's the message of Dara Torres to the world?
I watched Dara at 33 years old at the 2000 Olympics with me come out of retirement, win 5 Olympic medals, and become the oldest female ever to race in the Olympic Games. So I knew it could be done. And then I even knew well into your 30s, maybe even your 40s it could be done, but no one had ever done it. And then when Dara decided to come back for this Olympic Games 8 years later in 2008 at 41 years old, she showed everybody that if you eat right, you sleep right, you train right, and you have the financial means to do that, it is absolutely possible. She showed the world that it can be done. The impossible is now possible if you are smart and you do it right.
Okay, now what does that mean for Josh Davis? 35 years of age and 4 years in 2012 in London when the Olympic meets again. You could, hypothetically, be a contender for one of the relay teams. Relays are your specialty. You've got 5 medals in relays that you've made from past games. Do you think that's possible for you? If you focused, if you had the right type of funding, if you were able to manage your diet, and you're in incredible shape at 35 years of age, and you tell me you sleep well, you look like you're well rested. What does that mean? What would it mean for a 39-year-old man to come back and win a gold medal? Can you do it? Could it happen with the right focus?
I have always been intrigued to do something no one's ever done before. And I totally think it's possible. And Dara's proven it. She's 41. I'll be 39. I'll be just a baby. Anyway, but Jason Lezak, our great relay sprinter from last week, who saved both of our relays that Michael got the gold medals on. Jason Lezak's 32 years old. He's the oldest guy ever on the U.S. swim team. He swam lifetime best by a second. Trains by himself.
At 32.
At 32 years old. Stronger, faster than ever. And he is so inspired by Dara. He's sticking around for another 4 years to go to London. He'll hopefully make the team at 36 for London 2012. I could potentially make it at 39 at 2012, and then that would make me the oldest. But there's people out there doing it. It can be done.
Okay, now, are you thinking about this? Are you praying about this? Are you planning for this sort of thing right now? Or is this still in discussion? Is it a dream? Is it a potential reality?
My wife and I have taken the first steps to making our dream of what we want our life to look like a reality. Today was the first day that we homeschooled our kids, all 5 of them.
Wow.
And obviously that is the priority in our lives, is my wife and our children and their spiritual and emotional well-being and educational well-being. So we believe that homeschooling is going to give us the flexibility and the opportunity to maybe add some more things like the training, where we keep up with the business, where we can keep close to the kids. And so who knows? I think we're going to give ourselves some markers to see if there's progress here. The next big swim meet is in the World Championships in Rome in July. So just less than a year from now is the next big meet that'll be on NBC, the World Championships. If I can make that meet, that'll let everybody know that I am committed, this is possible, and maybe that will equip me to get some support to really make a real hard run for 3 more years for 2012.
I think right now the world is more open to a 39-year-old gold medalist, a 39-year-old athlete returning than perhaps they ever have because of what took place over in Beijing this year. But you've touched on something which I think is one of the most important things a man can talk about, which is the priority of his family. And so am I correct in understanding not only that you just started home education, but as an athlete, a man who has reached the very pinnacle of success from the world's perspective in the area of swimming, being a 3-time gold medalist, 2-time silver medalist, you still think the training of your children is more important?
Absolutely. These medals are very, very nice, but they don't last forever. I can't take them with me when I die. There's only 3 things that last forever: God, His Word, and the souls of men and women, the souls of my wife and children. So obviously that's priority, and if we can train our family up to be equipped to be used of the Lord, to encourage other people, to bring them into the kingdom, and showcase the glory of our King Jesus, absolutely, I would love to do that. But the family is priority. And then after that, we can focus on business and swimming in the Olympics and how that gives us a platform to minister to many other people.